Hi everyone! Welcome to the Hickson Diaries. It's day 7 of our 12 Faves of Britain series. We're doing a countdown to Christmas, so that means only 7 more days till Christmas. Hope you guys are ready. Today we're going to talk about my 6 favorite British comedies of all time. I love Little Britain. I think it's really, really funny. And to be honest, it's kind of how I was introduced to British culture. It wasn't the first British comedy that I was shown by my partner, but it was definitely one of the best ones that I was shown. I think it's a very interesting approach and a very smart play on how to make fun of the stereotypes of Britain and just, you know, the UK in general. I really, really enjoy it, and it still makes me laugh even today. So, I think that Little Britain will be one of those generational comedies that you guys have out there forever. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of an outcast in America when it comes to The Office. For those of you who don't know, after Ricky Gervais's version of The Office debuted, and I think after it finalized here in England, they did an American version of it as well with a brand new cast. And I'm not saying they weren't funny, but I definitely prefer the English version. I haven't even finished the American season. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes and I was done. The American version is pretty much a complete replica of the English version, at least in the first few seasons. And number 2, I watched the British version first, so that might be a little bit of a bias for me as well. I think the American version did what a lot of successful American television shows do. They extended the series way too long and just drug it out. As someone who has worked extensively in corporate America, basically grew up in corporate America, and someone who works in the corporate sector now that I live here in the UK, I think The Office is just hilarious. And I'm not going to say anything else. I mentioned Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry in my list of my favorite British comedians because of this show. I think they're both extremely smart men. I think their comedy is very smart, and I think they have a very good relationship on how they work together to present the joke and also to give the audience time to get the joke. A Bit of Fry and Laurie is very, very entertaining to me on a lot of different levels, and but especially on the comedic level. It's one I know that I'm gonna be like, even in a decade, I'm gonna want to go back and watch a couple episodes, or I'll see a couple clips, and I'll be like, still holds water. Would Taskmaster be categorized under comedy? I'm not 100% sure because it's kind of like one of those game show comedies that makes fun of celebrities. Anyways, I find it funny, so I'm going to classify it under comedy. So Taskmaster is fantastic in my opinion. It's a really it's always really funny to be able to see people in awkward situations and how they handle them, especially when they have no idea what's coming. And I find it fascinating when just to watch people like reason things out and try to figure it out in their own minds and just to kind of see where they're coming from and stuff. I really enjoy that cerebral part of it. And of course it's always really, really funny to see celebrities in those awkward situations, right? So I love watching Taskmaster, especially like after a long day. If I just need some levity, I just need to kind of clear my head and really just come out of my own brain and be able to focus on something else. It always makes me feel better. It always puts me in a good mood. So had to make the list. This one actually is the very first comedy show that my partner ever showed me after we got together, and I find it hilarious. There's so many different sketches and so many different storylines kind of going through the whole series and the entirety of all the episodes, and I really enjoy that kind of way you're stringing it through, as well as, you know, each episode being able to be held on its own I like that version of storytelling. Plus, it's freaking hilarious. And last but not least, my all-time favorite British comedy. You guys know where this is going if you've ever seen any of my videos before, but just in case you haven't and it's the first time that you clicked on it on our channel, it's Fawlty Towers. Fawlty Towers is so slapstick, which I normally don't like. And I think that might be part of the reason why it's my favorite British comedy, but it's also one of my favorite comedies of all time. And it's really hard to do slapstick and not be silly. And I think that's why I don't like it. I like comedy that's a little bit more like cerebral and kind of get you thinking as well. I'm not the kind of person that laughs at someone stepping on a rake, typically. However, I feel like Fawlty Towers just really infuses the smart, intellectual version of comedy with the slapstick really, really well. And it makes me laugh every time. I've seen every episode at least 100 times and I still giggle, or sometimes I even burst out laughing still as if it was the first time I had ever seen it. I really enjoy it a lot. I'm never ever going to have a bad thing to say about Fawlty Towers, and it'll be one of those shows that I'm watching when I'm old and decrepit in my rocking chair on my porch. They do that here in the UK. I don't know if they do that in the UK, but they might not because of the weather. But regardless, I will find a way to watch it, and I will always enjoy myself while I'm watching it as well. There you go, guys. Those are my 6 favorite British comedies of all time. Let me know your favorite in the comments below. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for day 8 of our series. Hope to see you then. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.